What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here, and today we're going to talk about the state of Xbox because for the last 24 hours there have been some very strange rumors going around that apparently Xbox is trying not to advertise Game Pass, that Microsoft is spending so many billions of dollars at this point on exclusives that aren't really making money or even generating that many Game Pass subscriptions that it does sound like, according to these rumors, that Xbox and Game Pass, they're beginning to have a very odd split. But I want to talk about the source of this rumor, talk about it, and just sort of discuss what I think is actually going on. Hi, hope you're having a great day, and if you could please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, we need to first talk about the source and then explain some follow-up comments because the people that are kind of originating this have sort of halfway backtracked it. So this is the Iron Lords podcast. I've been on it a couple times myself, and a lot of these guys, extremely passionate gamers, and a lot of them are very Xbox focused. You can see Destin Legary, Parris, Lord Cognito, which is one of the hosts of it. So while they were talking, Cog essentially said, hey, I was at Treyarch, one of the Activision studios that was bought by Xbox, and he said, while I was there was talks off the record that Xbox is not allowed to do a big marketing push for Call of Duty launching into Xbox Game Pass, and Parris chimed in and said that he heard the same thing. Now, let's start off with the clarifications, because this on its face is a very shocking statement. A lot of people have sort of been picking it apart. A lot of Xbox fans have basically been saying, fake news, this sucks, don't talk about it. So apparently there was some clarification. There was 2 follow-up tweets by Parris, and he said, okay, to be clear about this clip, what I heard was from other people at the event and not Treyarch employees. So no one at Activision or Xbox has stated this to me directly. And the other thing he said, okay, what I was talking about when I said this stuff is off the record I'm not going to talk about my sources. I was just agreeing with Cog when he was talking about it. Now, the first impressions is a lot of people are initially just saying, this is an insane quote. Just the idea of Xbox being told not to promote something going into Game Pass. The first gut reaction is, we know for a fact that's not quite true. Xbox Game Pass is definitely not doing good. People aren't buying Xboxes in general, and it seems like people aren't subscribing to Game Pass just off the top. But to say they're not advertising it, I think that clearly isn't fully concrete. This is just a tweet here from, 10 days ago. 10 days ago, you could see this tweet where they're talking about the upcoming first-party Xbox games coming to Game Pass. Doom the Dark Ages, Avowed, Indiana Jones, the DLC for Starfield, and right there, Black Ops 6. Now, what this doesn't say is that there are multiple tiers now of Xbox Game Pass. Obviously, the fact that you have to have the highest tier to actually get new games, I made videos about that. I still feel like the marketing of Xbox Game Pass has been terrible. I feel like the death of Xbox is coming up very, very soon. But I do think it does seem like, just in general, Microsoft is having a bit of a breakup with the Xbox brand. It does seem like they're trying to find a way to get Game Pass to stand on its own, or trying to find a way to essentially bump up subs in a way they can actually advertise their current stuff without having extra hardware and all these extra strings to it. A lot of people are making fun of the fact that this off-the-record statement, the fact that they're talking about this stuff that's supposed to be so hush-hush, it just seems odd that, honestly, this experiment, I think, is going to be very, very do or die for Xbox. I think that Xbox is in a spot where it's not just that they need growth. I think they need to actually manage to find a better, more lucrative audience that will actually buy their games. I've seen a lot of Xbox people trying to claim that this is fake news, that they're mad people are discussing COD and Game Pass or not discussing COD and Game Pass. I think that Call of Duty is one of the biggest companies on the planet. Call of Duty as a brand, as a microtransaction machine, as a AAA $70 release, it generates billions and billions of dollars of profit. Not just revenue, they generate billions of dollars of profit. trying to get people to just subscribe to Game Pass instead of actually buying a copy of the game. I think that if this does not majorly increase the total amount of people sub to Game Pass for long term, not just for 1 month, if this actually just flatlines the growth, if they don't actually get a huge chunk of millions of new people buying Game Pass, I think this is the death of Game Pass. I think it's the death of Xbox. So this rumor, it's obviously a little bit off in that, Treyarch isn't talking about the fact that they're not allowed to talk about Game Pass. I think it is the sentiment that Game Pass is not the moneymaker that clearly Xbox wanted. I saw this article going around, and it's very crazy. The Microsoft CEO, Satya Nadella, talks about the fact that they're trying to make a broader content slate. We're trying to reach more users in more places. So it does sound like we're going to keep getting a lot of Xbox games onto PS5, onto PC, and there's already some leaks and rumors apparently that the next Nintendo Switch is going to be a lot more beefy. It's a straight upgrade of the current Nintendo Switch, and when that comes out, I think it's pretty obvious that a lot of those games are also going to be coming to Xbox, a lot of Xbox games are going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch. Like, think about the amount of these games that are also already coming to PlayStation 5. Diablo 4's DLC is coming to PS5. There's rumors of Starfield coming to PS5. Doom is officially announced for PS5. Black Ops 6 is coming to PS5. My point is the fact that the death of Xbox and the death of Game Pass are two very separate entities. And I feel like it's coming up very, very soon because of just a lack of hype. And I do feel like if Call of Duty is not able to bump the needle, if Call of Duty is not able to dramatically increase the amount of total concurrent people with Game Pass subscriptions, they're going to just cut and run. I think that Microsoft is going to go, okay, screw the Xbox brand, screw all this, just sell the games. Just get people to buy the games for $70 and screw all that extra extraneous gobbledygook. I was thinking about this while actually scripting this video out, which was this tweet that went out over the weekend. Actually, wait, this is like a rewriting of it. This went out over the weekend originally, but Strauss Zelnick, the head of Take-Two, the guy who's directly in charge of GTA 6, he talked about the fact that he just feels like there's no way that Black Ops is really going to be a success on Game Pass. He said, yeah, it will drive interest to the surface for at least a period of time, but he said, I think that offering a frontline title with a premium price in a subscription service day and date will push consumers to that subscription service for at least a period of time. But he essentially goes on to say that they're not going to put GTA 6 or any of their games into Game Pass because, no, it doesn't affect our decisions because we are rational. I mean, he's literally saying the guy who is directly in charge of GTA 6 is straying, just in no uncertain terms, putting Call of Duty into Game Pass is irrational. I mean, he's just saying straight up putting your big expensive stuff that's supposed to make cash into a subscription service, it's by design not going to make as much cash. So at the end of the day, this headline, this topic is kind of messy because I do think it's not quite so cut and dry. I think that there is some mixed messaging. I do think that some people inside of Treyarch are probably a bit nervous. I think a lot of Activision developers and Blizzard developers and stuff, there's already been a bunch of layoffs over at Microsoft and a lot of Xbox studios getting shut down and stuff. I think they are afraid that now they rely not just on hype, not just on advertising, but on subscription numbers. It's no longer just about advertising and making sure people bump up those pre-order numbers. It's about vague, ambiguous subscriptions. And I just don't feel like that's going to work out in the long run. At least that's my off-the-cuff thoughts. But what do you guys think about this? Is this crazy to you, or does this seem like a big old nothing burger? Tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. And please, if you could, give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. All right, I actually have to go catch a flight in 90 minutes. Why am I recording a video when I have 90 minutes? I'm going to New York. Tell me where the good pizza is at. I'm just going to be hanging out in New York for 3 days, doing some work, playing some secret video games, and then I just want to eat only pizza. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.